Having established himself as a High Lord within Dorne, Vaelor now looks to gain some renown abroad, and the Stepstones look like the perfect target. However, forces much stronger than Vaelor are on the move, and there's a rumour that Aegon II of the Iron Throne is planning his invasion of Dorne to gain another kingdom under his rule. If Vaelor's planned war is a success, he may soon find himself interacting with people from faraway lands, whose cultures and religions are a mystery to him. Hello everybody and welcome back once again. We are the High Lord of Blackmont, Lord Vaelor the Poet Sand. We are actually in a decent position here. We have an alliance with Prince's Pass just next to us here. It did cost us a matrilineal marriage with Lady Jocasta Fowler here, so it does mean that our two most recent daughters, Giala and Lynette, are going to be House Fowler rather than Starfell. Non-ideal, but a price that Vaelor was willing to pay. Our two sons here, Ulrich and Felix, are both Starfell. That's the most important thing. On top of that, we do have an alliance with House Dayne themselves and the Torrentine down here. It is actually our nephew, Edric Dayne, who is in control here ever since his father and our half-brother Tyon, Sword of the Morning, passed away. The most exciting alliance we have though is actually with Driftmark here and the Velaryon family. Here we have betrothed our youngest son Felix to Rhaenys Velaryon here, largely because we want to start getting some Valyrian blood into House Starfell so we can actually start to have some dragon riders. Obviously this is something that we want to replicate with Ulrich here, who long before we were thinking about taking to the skies and just needed alliances, Ulrich was married off to House Peak. They were also a very critical alliance at the time. We've since lost that one, but Vaelor can't regret it. It was needed at the time. Ulrich, though, does have two sons, Bastian as well as Emery here, and those are two children that when they are grown, we want to make sure we marry off to some Valyrians. I need to correct myself as well. In the previous episode, I spoke about how expansion's difficult. I don't want to hold too many duchies and whatnot. But I was wrong. We can have more duchies in this actual mod, and on top of that, because Dorne is actually independent of the Iron Throne here, it is an empire title. So we could actually create a new kingdom and still be inside of Dorne itself. Interestingly, obviously the Kingdom of Dorne exists as well with the exact same land, but presumably this is what they hold when they are actually a vassal of the Iron Throne. I imagine eventually the Iron Throne will want to go to war to get Dorne under control. We'll have to see. It's going to be very interesting when Prince Corran here, the Hawk, actually dies to see what situation they are in. One interesting war we do have available to us is actually over in the Stepstones here. We could go to war with King Tyros Drahar of the Stepstones here to actually free the slaves. If we could pull this off, slavery in the Stepstones will be ended. All of the slaves will be freed. We'll gain a ton of bonuses, and some of the freed slaves may even join our court. The Kingdom of the Stepstones is also an interesting position here. They are a kingdom, but they are a tributary to the free city of Tyrosh, and Tyrosh are actually in a confederacy known as the Three Daughters with Myr and Lys as well. Also, I assume it's Tyrosh because I believe that the culture is pronounced Tyroshi, but as per usual with the pronunciations, please give me some leeway. Now, Vaelor has not previously been extremely outspoken against slavery or anything like that, but obviously, as somebody who is part of Faith of the Seven, which as a religion forbids slavery, he doesn't really need to be speaking out against it. It doesn't really exist anywhere inside of the Iron Throne or down here in Dorne either. This, though, is a fantastic opportunity for him to actually get his name known on more of a world stage. The Stepstones themselves are a very hot topic here. Obviously, we began our run with Daemon's conquest here, where he actually died almost instantly. Since then, the Iron Throne did manage to take some lands, but the Stepstones themselves still exist. So while the eyes of the world, both sides of the narrow sea here, have their eyes on the Stepstones, we're going to get our name known by freeing some slaves. We are going to launch this war and immediately call in all of our allies. Oh, we have a betrothal offer from Yornwood here. Yornwood is actually... Oh yeah, it's this duchy right here, right next to Prince's Pass. Absolutely will take your 10,000 men. And you are going to come with us to the Stepstones as well. I had a suspicion that they had somewhat buffed out the AI in previous episodes, because playing through some of those early wars, they seemed hyper aggressive, seemed to move a lot and very, very intelligently. but I really think that's the case now, because seeing how quickly my allies have gotten over here and just immediately started sieging, like, the AI in this mod know what they're doing. All of our allies in here, in truth, I think this will actually be quite easy. We've called them all in, but I don't actually think the tributary contract they've signed with Tyrosh here is actually something that they are going to defend them with. It seems that they're going to pay up to them, but it doesn't seem like they've actually signed something that they'll come to their defense. If they have, they're just choosing not to. It is very interesting, though, that Vaelor is now leading a coalition of 36,000 men, including an ally that has dragons at their disposal, when not that long ago, he was just a somewhat forgotten bastard child of House Dayne. Oh, and we've had a son here. Now, unfortunately, the son is also going to be House Fowler, so Connor is fine. Connor Fowler it is. Out of curiosity, can we request a divorce here? We can, but the actual head of faith is not a huge fan of it. We may want to actually get a divorce going here, just because Vaelor was happy to have some children outside of his dynasty for the sake of an actual alliance. Doesn't really need that alliance anymore, though, and ensuring that Starfell continues is his main priority. Now, interestingly, it looks like we've actually triggered another war in the Stepstones here, where this man, Pirate Lord Huego of Skull Tides, has started a dissolution war inside the Stepstones. We somewhat have the power, really, to decide if we want that to happen or not, because we could theoretically just attack this army and actually keep the Stepstones as they are. I think we will actually go and try and challenge these men. Vaelor isn't that interested in the future of the Stepstones. The Iron Throne is. They'd probably love to see a dissolution here, making it easier for them to actually pick up this land. But Vaelor doesn't, because if these pirates win, it may just invalidate his war. Didn't expect this, but Vaelor is now leading his men against pirates. We are going to win, thankfully. Oh, and amazing, after the battle in Skullhammer, Felix's name stands out to me in particular, so we have the honor of actually knighting our son. The actual model of the Free City of Tyrosh here looks very nice indeed as well, super unique. Death of a dragon rider. Princess Rhaenys of Dragonstone has died. Her dragon, the Beast, Meleys, the Red Queen, is now also without the guidance of her rider. I am super interested to see how the AI actually handles some of these wild dragons. Obviously, quite a few of them have actually been dying recently, and a lot of the dragons are owned by Aegon here, but not all of them necessarily are bonded and have riders yet. I'm sure they will eventually, as Aegon expands out his family, hand them off, but it will be interesting to see where some of these dragons end up. There it is. After taking control of the skulls here, we are at 100% and we can officially end slavery in the Stepstones. Now, having won the battle, one of the freedmen has requested an audience. Maladon here approaches with other freedmen at his heels. They stop just before me and kneel. My lord, when the slavers stole us, they destroyed our homes, butchered our families. Maladon glances at the familiar face of Sarnello beside him, as if to draw his strength while holding back tears. We thank you for freeing us from their grasp, but there is nothing for us to go back to. I humbly plead for you to take us into your service. We are all very skilled at our crafts. I am certain you can find a use for us. Let's have a look. So Maladon here is a skilled fighter, a brilliant strategist, 25 martial, and already Faith of the Seven. No problem there whatsoever. Sarnello is Pentoshi. Nothing super crazy trait-wise, but is a trained fighter and a logistician, so why not? And Namu here is interesting. Namu Tartus, a beardless eunuch and from the culture of shadow men. Oh wow, that's from all the way over here in Ashai. To be honest, I didn't even know this was over here. I hadn't even moved my map that far. That is incredible. Now, we do consider their religion, Heart of Smoke and Shadow, to be evil. We can probably sort that out, though. The worship of R'hllor in the furthest east is centered around Ashai and the ancient prophecies of the rebirth of Azor Ashai. This branch of Heart and Fire incorporates darker aspects of Ashai itself and the Shadowbinders who call it home. You are more than welcome in my court because you just sound incredibly cool. I'm going to say, of course, I will find a place for you. We will have a strong loyalty hook on each of them, which we can certainly put to good use. We also have the option here to send Giala off to join the Silent Sisterhood. Now, this is probably something that Vaelor wouldn't have a huge issue with, considering if she's not actually part of House Dayne, but still House Dayne would gain the renown and whatnot, and we'd also gain some piety. However, it would break her betrothal with Yornwood here, which is non-ideal. We do want that alliance. I'm going to say nonsense. No child of mine will marry the stranger. If there wasn't a betrothal there, we probably would have done it though. Now, we've been invited to Giala's wedding, actually, in Yornwood. He's actually decided to host a grand wedding for this. We haven't even been to a grand wedding yet. Why not? Of course we'll join. Whoa, look at Giala. That is a serious setup for a wedding. Here it is. The day has finally come, and I couldn't be prouder of my Giala, the beautiful bride. I think she also has some of our kind of purple, like pale purple eyes here, which is nice, even though she doesn't have our name. I mean, she's about to change her name again anyway after this marriage, but even despite that, she will always have that mark that signifies she came from our house. We are just so proud. Everyone is in good spirits. On my left, a group of children is hypnotized by the jugglers. On my right, poets acclaim their latest compositions to an adoring crowd. However, the banquet falls silent when a crew of dancers bearing torches make their way to the center of the venue, inviting guests to join them along the way. The view is breathtaking in the low lights of an early evening. The torches light up their smiling faces against the darkening sky and cast interwoven patterns into their shadows. It all looks amazing until Jerome trips, knocks a torch from a neighbour's hand, and sets his own clothes aflame. I can say I must do something and try and save him. There's a chance I will get wounded and possibly burned. I could ask them to bring water, but there's a 40% chance that Jerome gains severely injured and keeps burning. I could just start shouting, "Burn," or "Everyone for themselves." No, we will attempt to do something. 91% chance we can save him here. We saved him. Okay, good. The wedding did not end in a disaster. Now, while we're still attending this wedding, we've had another offer of betrothal here. This time our other daughter, Lynette, off to Castos here of House Jourdain. This is the High Lordship of Tor, another family inside of Dorne. I mean, with this alliance, we are allied with half of Dorne at this stage. After lots of drinking, we've also gained the trait Eager Reveler. Why not? You know, Vaelor deserves it. 60 years old, he's achieved a lot. Why not enjoy life a little bit? There it is. It's all done. A 350 prestige, and we have gained guests to the wedding of the century. Very nice. Now it's time to come home and tell Ulrich to stand down from being a regent of the realm. All he's done since we left is try and consistently swing the scales of power towards himself. He is 29 years old, looking decent though. No extremely negative traits yet, which is great to see. Also, with our recently freed slaves, Sarnello here would make a fantastic seneschal, so we'll put him in there. Namu Tartus here of the Shadow Men, who to be honest kind of scares us, will go in as our antiquarian. And Maladon, the other freed slave, will be our sworn shield, thanks to his insane martial ability. Here it is, here it is. Aegon has decided enough is enough. He is attacking Dorne in the Westerosi Dornish Iron Throne vassalization war. He has taken Dorne to be another kingdom inside of the Iron Throne. This is where it's no longer fantastic to be a bordering state, but let's see what happens ultimately. Meanwhile, we have just unlocked writing history inside of our diplomacy focus here, which does give us the ability to commission an epic, which I think we definitely want to do, making sure that forever House Starfell knows where they came from, everything that Vaelor achieved, and it has the added bonus of possibly giving us some more legitimacy and getting us up to level 2. We're going to invest in this. We're going to pay 90 gold for it. Oh no, the memories remain. Our best friend Breece has died. This is terrible news. You will not be forgotten, old friend. Now, we can focus the family epic on something. Would be interesting to focus on stories of my dynasty's ancestral claims and see what comes up. We could do renown. There's nothing specifically for legitimacy, so why not? Let's see what comes up in terms of our dynasty's claims. Somebody did mention in the comments of a previous video that House Dayne is one of the oldest houses inside of actual Westeros, so maybe there's some claims back there somewhere. Oh boy, here they are, here they are. Thankfully, they've decided to go through Stoneway over here instead of us, but still no sign of the Dornish army. Oh, there they are, 6,000 of them, getting absolutely demolished at the Battle of Scale Rise. Now, interestingly, one of the claims that we could actually gain from this epic is a claim on Starfall itself, the seat of House Dayne. This would be very, very nice. We would gain the Palestone Sword Special building. This is a building, I assume it's more symbolizing the fact that this is where Dawn rests. And they also have blacksmith guilds here at level 2 as well. Absolutely, give us a claim on Starfell there. We did immediately lose our alliance with Yoren Wood after everything that we went through in the wedding. He may have died as a commander in this battle over here. It is finished, my lord. The Chronicle of House Starfell, describing in great detail its history of ruling the various lands that you desired. Surely none can contest your righteous claims. And we have gained Starfell Propaganda Chronicle. Oh, look at this. Nephew taken prisoner. Edric was captured as a prisoner of war by Aegon after he won the Battle of Streakmont. That is very interesting. The head of House Dayne is now a prisoner. His heir is Aegon Dayne here. 36 years old, bold antagonist. Interesting enough character. He does actually control the elbow down here, but because he would be 2 generations away, there's no more a direct link there. He is just a member of our dynasty, but nothing as direct as being our nephew or half-brother or anything anymore. Oh boy, here they are, very, very close to us, but it looks like they might be going through Prince's Pass here instead. Honestly, I think it's the geography that actually saves us quite a bit here. Blackmont is kind of tucked away behind these mountains here, hence the name Prince's Pass, I assume, because it's actually in between these 2 mountains. Is a logical place for the Targaryen army to go. They could, if they wanted, just come in through Sunwatch here, but probably want to avoid all of these mountain ranges. It becomes very difficult to get from one side to the other. Very, very thankful we have this here, though. Oh god, they are on our doorstep. They are currently sieging down Wide Watch here. They may want to move into Blackmont next. The Dornish army have actually shown up again, more than 6,000 this time. They'll probably still lose, but at least they're here to contest it. Never mind, they're not even attacking, they're just going north to counter siege. Forget what I said about the AI knowing what they're doing. Oh, and look at this. Edric Dayne has died in captivity. That does now mean that our alliance with House Dayne and the Torrentine is now up. Oh, and in the middle of all this, a new dragon enters the world. Are you a Targaryen? Yes, you are. Aerys, grandson of Aegon II, has hatched a dragon egg. Now, we have become the house head of House Dayne once again. This has been flip-flopping a lot, though. There's definitely not a lot between it. But if we remain house head, perhaps we are the ones who should rightly rule in Starfell. That could be on our cards, but I don't think Vaelor would necessarily turn on other vassals in the middle of a war the scale of this one, and especially not while there's dragons on his doorstep. They finished their siege. Thankfully, they turned around. It looks like they would rather fight the Dornish. Oh my god, they've absolutely deleted them. They would rather fight than continue their sieging. That might delay them a little bit before they head into Blackmont, but let's see. Interestingly, Trystane Fowler has died. We still have our alliance with Prince's Pass, but incredibly, it's our wife who is now in control over there. She now has her lands being sieged down by the actual Targaryen ruler. We could just absolutely abandon her at this stage, and at the exact same moment she finds herself in control while all this is happening, divorce her. What makes this even worse is that she's also craven, so she's probably already absolutely terrified, and then her husband divorces her. Let's see. Vaelor isn't that cold-blooded, however. He does want to divorce her, but doesn't really want to abandon her at this point. He doesn't hate her or anything as a wife. He just wants to have a wife that will give him children inside of his own dynasty. And the army of the Iron Throne might even do it for us, although maybe not. They're moving into Red March now. Okay, that's fine. Better them than us. We've been invited to Lord Marden's feast here over in the Tor. I don't know why all of our fellow vassals are getting so excited and hosting so many events while we're being invaded. I don't think so. I'd rather not cross paths with this army on my way. Realistically, there's not much Dorne can do here. If I was the king of Dorne, I would maybe look for some alliances within the free cities, but even that's not going to be enough. The Iron Throne is just too powerful at the moment. Alicent Hightower, the mother of King Aegon II here, has just died as well, which I'm sure will make him nice and passive in this war. He's not going to lash out at all. This siege may be it for this Dornish conquest. They are now at 100%. Liege war has ended, and I believe we are now going to be a vassal inside of the Iron Throne. Yes, we are. There it is. When we zoom out, Dorne is no longer independent. Aegon II has done it. Amazingly, in spite of this, the King of Dorne doesn't seem to mind that much. He still has plus 100 opinion of Aegon II, despite the fact he declared war on him. To be fair, this is largely because of King Aegon's II makeup, though. He is a quite potent mix, being both brave and compassionate. Two virtuous traits, and it's going to make a lot of people like him quite a bit. On top of that, his personal inventory is absolutely insane. Nothing but dragon eggs in his inventory, along with Blackfire itself, as well as, of course, the Crown of Fire and Blood. And just as backup, he also has Crown of the Conqueror, Crown of the First Son, Crown of the Conciliator, Crown of the Red Dragon. So it makes sense, I suppose. The King of Dorne may see it as Aegon actually being compassionate, allowing him to stay in control as an old man. And to be fair, not a huge amount changed for the people of Dorne either. The war was pretty rough, but other than that, it's not too bad. Now, at 64 years of age, Vaelor has two options. One is to simply live out his days as High Lord of Blackmont, make sure that his family survives, and maybe in the future look for some dragon blood. But there is one other opportunity. We could use the claim we have on Starfell here and actually claim it for ourselves. Control the seat of Dawn itself and the ancestral house of House Dayne. Do we want to prove that Starfell is the true main house inside of the Dayne dynasty? The answer is yes, we do. Let's declare war here. Vaelor has said enough is enough. He is sick of the dynasty head bouncing back and forth between himself and the head of House Dayne. He wants full control of the house now, and to be honest, he deserves it. We have, including our allies, close to 20,000 military strength, while House Dayne here, only about 5,000. This is the true turning point in Vaelor's life, as well as House Starfell overall. Previously, he was preaching peace. Let's not move too far against them. No need to be antagonistic. But at this point, he realizes that he is the more dominant force and his actual house should be the ones to control Starfell. Here we go. We're going to call in Prince's Pass here, which is actually just asking our wife to come help us. Oh, and another dragon enters the world here. The son of King Aegon II has hatched another dragon, Mount Dweller. We're not too concerned with that right now, though. We are moving in and immediately starting the siege over here in Starfell. I wasn't going to initially, but I am actually going to call in Driftmark as well. I don't think we'll need them, but it's going to take such an insane amount of time to siege down Starfell here. 1,600. Now, our allies did beat the Dayne army once. They've actually retreated back up here inside of Blackmont. I may actually... Oh, will Driftmark actually attack them for us? Yes, they will. Okay, incredible. Oh, and my spy master has come to me with grave news. Somebody is plotting to kill me. It's likely Lord Aaron here. Would make a ton of sense. He is also now our nemesis from declaring war on him. My spy master has come to me with the discovery. She is certain that my acquaintance, Lady Marissa, is scheming against me. Oh, of course. It's not Aaron. It's his wife. Let the traitor be known to all. Oh, and our maester position is now vacated. Sandeman has died. That is not fantastic. Let's send a raven to Old Town for another maester as soon as they are ready. In the meantime, though, we can get Beldico here in as our steward. This is the genius character who actually thought Felix Valerian. Now, they've sent us Master Raymond here. He's only 16 years old. Skilled fighter, maester, and insightful thinker. Okay, I mean... not as good as Sandeman, but we'll take him. Excuse me? Death of a dragon rider. King Aegon II of the Iron Throne has died. His dragon is now without the guidance of her rider. Excuse me? Succession to the Iron Throne. My lord, a letter marked with the seal of House Targaryen has arrived. King Aegon was accidentally killed by Lord Gerald the Handsome of Morningside, a 64-year-old man, in a tournament joust. Daemon Targaryen has been proclaimed the rightful successor, and Daemon is only 3 years old with his newly hatched dragon. That is incredible. We'll see how that plays out. In the meantime, I'm on speed 5 here just to try and just finish this siege for Starfell. There it is. We have actually captured him as well, but we are at 100%. The lordship of Starfell is ours. Now, this is very interesting, and to be honest, does set us on a course of taking the rest of the Torrentine as well. We don't want this land just ending up back in de jure Torrentine lands, or the actual King of Dorne himself doing some weirdness here and taking this back off of us. And there it is. Starfall is ours. To be fair, I think it's a better holding overall than Blackmont here. Blackmont, I would argue, is significantly more defensible at the moment with its 16 fort level. Starfall over here has just about 3, so not as good, but probably a better holding overall and much more built up to begin with. Not to mention the Palestone Sword itself. Although, speaking of the Palestone Sword, where is it? Dawn here is still in the personal possession of Lord Aegon Dayne, which is very interesting. It's also interesting that it's in his personal possession, given that he isn't actually Sword of the Morning. So he holds it, but I assume that means he's not wielding it? Yeah, that is the case. So presumably, in order to get Dawn, we'll actually have to go and take the rest of the Torrentine, giving him nowhere else to hide. Also, what is this? Your local bank is accepting new investors. You may buy a share which will grant you a say in that bank's decisions and a dividend based on the profits. Absolutely. What's the current price of a share? 73 gold? You have a deal. Oh, look at this. We have banking decisions as well. So we can sell the share whenever we actually want to. We can view the ledger with everything from available capital to revenue. That's actually really interesting. We can see all of the shareholders. We can also see important debtors. I really like that system. That's incredible. Oh, and the timing of that, just after that war, looking through our new banking decisions, Vaelor passes away at 66 years of age. Lord Ulrich ascends to the throne. Having mastered many skills, he is sure to be admired by his subjects. Honestly, what a story for Vaelor though. Starts off with some counties to the north here of the Torrentine, a somewhat forgotten son of House Dayne, founds his own bastard dynasty, takes over all of Blackmont, becomes a High Lord himself, frees the slaves in the Stepstones, and then goes back and takes Starfall, starting Ulrich here on a course to take over the rest of the Torrentine for all of these lands to be ruled by House Starfell. What is this? We have a scheme to murder Vaelor. Who is this? My nephew. For some reason, Ulrich here was in the process of killing his brother's son. I have no idea why. That's something that we're not going to be continuing. I think with that though, with the death of a character, it's a great place to actually leave this episode. When we start back up again, we're going to have to establish Ulrich as the new ruler. We're going to have to pay homage once again to the King of Dorne, or actually we may even pay homage to the Iron Throne itself at this point. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see what happens when we get there. Ulrich will have to take the rest of the Torrentine, try and get Dawn into the possession of House Starfell as well. And he's also going to have to try and find a match for Bastion here, his primary heir, ideally a Valyrian. And we can actually start working on picking up some of these rogue dragons that are causing an absolute menace in the realm at the moment, and try and at least control some, so they don't all just wind up back in control of the Targaryens. Incredibly happy with the first chapter of our story though. Couldn't have asked for more for Vaelor. Let's see what Ulrich can bring to the table. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. A massive shout out to all of our channel members helping to support this channel. If you would like to support the channel, click that join button down below. And as always, a very special shout out to our Emperor's Hands tier, Faustbread, Spencer Roberts, Batch Plays, and Wyatt Laird. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.